that I'm doing things wrong. Driving a bucket, 2 rows of bins. So shit, I get my slang on, bang on the block to the spots of mine. Have my life full of dead friends, cops and crime. Oh, hold on to the dream to drop beats. At Gucci's and Guess, I'm staring, but what I'm wearing is from the swap meets. Dickie down, Davis down, the OD made this clown.
Hello and welcome to the Music for Life podcast right here in Carlsbad, California. I am your host today for Music for Life podcast, Kelly Davis, also president of Imagine Podcasting, and I'm standing in for Chris Swan. This is his show. And there he is. This is Chris Swan. Thank you.
That's Chris.
That's Chris, yes. But with Imagine Podcasting coupled with Outwork Dream Killers, accompanied by Will Harrison, we are producing the special edition. It is our hip-hop edition, Culture and through the 80s and 90s. And in our studio today, we have the group I.B.S. That is Innocent Bystanders. If you don't know, you will know.
And
we have Revelation. We have Tease. We have Slim. And on the end there, we have the incredible, the phenomenal Will Ski.
That's right.
Stasher Warner.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to go. Revelation, I'm just going to ask you this first question.
Yes.
Enlighten us about this culture, this amazing culture during the 80s. How did you get into it, this group I.B.S., but what was your introduction to this music, and about how old were you when you're like, you know what, I want to do something with this?
Man, you going way back. I was living on Charles in the Valley, and I remember...
This is Oceanside, California we're talking about.
Yeah, Oceanside, California. And I remember, like, just going bananas when I heard Rapper's Delight the first time, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had no grid for what that was, right? Because it was the first time I actually heard rap. And so I fell in love with rap immediately, like I was built for it. And I started like just trying to write my own little stuff.
But how old were you about, or grade, or how old were you about, would you say?
Man.
79, 80s,
maybe
and Rapper's Delight, I guess?
Second grade.
Yeah.
Like I was young. I just remember like being super little. That's what I remember. I'm still kind of little, right? But I remember being super little, just a kid hearing this, and like the older homies on they boxes, you know what I mean, and falling in love with it. And then I moved to Georgia. My dad got stationed out in Savannah in the NROTC program out there. And I remember the teacher, wow, all these names coming back, Miss Mumford, right? I got moved to a search class, which was kind of crazy because at that time I was going to St. Mary's prior to moving out there. And so I guess my reading skills and all that was past what the average was in Savannah, Georgia, right? And so I just want to say this because it was part of the culture and how I was growing up, right? When I got into the class that I was in, it was all black people, right? And like the reading was sketchy, right? Yeah, it was bad. And so the teacher, when it got to me and I read, she immediately was like, come over here. Let me take you to a different class. So she took me into a search class. I don't even think y'all know this story, right? She took me into what was called a search class. I walked in a class of like 35 students. It was only 2 black people, right? And she was like, you got the intelligence to be in here, right? And so Miss Mumford was the teacher, beautiful lady, like she just embraced me, taught me and all that good stuff, right? But in the class she had started us doing limericks, which is a form of poetry. And I remember writing the limericks, and it's how you rhyme. It's a different rhyme schedule, and that did it. That catapulted me to, oh yeah, I need to keep writing and learning, and so Curtis Blow.
Because what you're speaking of, if I may, gave you a bit of a foundation to build on.
Yeah.
As you got more, your creativity was supported because you got to weigh in that way. Okay.
It gave me structure, right? So I remember, like, I don't know who it was. One of the homies, like, was writing and was writing just from the heart and putting it together. And I was like, no, we got to format this.
That was me.
That was you?
I didn't know nothing about no bars.
Right.
I didn't know how
Slim, bring that mic up just a little bit there for you there.
Go.
Okay, perfect.
You got me?
Yeah. We got
Yeah,
it.
that was me. Not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
You didn't know about bars?
No, I didn't know anything about bars or just how to format a song.
He was just going at it.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It came to me.
But he actually taught me the formation of a song.
Right.
You know, the hook, the verses.
You remember teaching me how to count bars?
I remember. I thought that's
Joey's
why I
the
said. I
teacher.
thought it was like
So
both
you were a
of them.
math teacher,
Revelation
an
is
English
teacher.
teacher,
Right.
huh?
Well, no, my mom, she put me in piano lessons,
Okay.
and so it was a trick though, because when I was out there, the lady was playing like more like contemporary stuff or whatever, right? When I came back, the teacher taught me Bach and Beethoven.
When you came back,
Classical music.
when you say
when
back,
I came back to
California,
Cali.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, so I learned classical music and how to read music, music theory, all of that. And so I just been like musically inclined.
Yeah, and
You
I
know.
think right there, talk about, because this is really hip hop, and I left this out, the North County area specifically we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that people, when they think of hip hop, yeah, there's people who just would spit, talk with, but there was a real education that they're so into all kinds of music to arrive at the originality of hip hop. So I want to thank you for sharing that. Okay, I'm going to go to the next gentleman here. Tease, but
Yeah.
you have a few nicknames
Monikers.
with I.B.S.
Right.
Can you give us a few of those Tease? What else do you go by?
Juna as well.
Juna.
Juna. And when you were rapping, was that mostly Juna you were using, or
No, tease.
you were using Tease? Okay.
Yes.
How about you? Your introduction to hip hop? Yeah.
What do you mean? As far as, well, all of us is about the same age, except for Anthony's a little younger. He's still old too. Anyway, but no, like
He's
the
still
rappers
old,
that
too.
like that's kind of I think that struck a chord with a lot of the black youth when we were at that age. It was fun. It was new.
Thank you.
So a lot of us hip hop artists. I mean, that's when I got turned on to. It was actually rappers that like too. But growing up, am I good? Yeah. Growing up, oh. My bad. the profession
We're
is-
being coached in the
Yeah,
studio
but
about
professional.
the remembering the
professional.
microphone days and everything.
Right.
that's
That's my little
sensitive.
cousin. He's a professional. So
Yeah, thank
anyway,
you,
my
Slim.
bad. I got.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just growing up in Oceanside, I just got involved with a lot of hip hop. I was first like what they call a b-boy. I was like a break dancer. Mm-hmm. And then right around in the late mid 80s, like right around when I met Will, like 89 or something.
No, that was like 80. It had to be
86,
85,
85, 86, when we were all kind of like, everybody thought they could rap, so we'd be, jacking around after school, right? And stuff like that. So that's how I kind of got him into it, is messing around like that. And eventually ended up getting into it pretty good and joined the crew formed by Frank Zimmerman called the Damn Posse in Oceanside.
Thanks to the damn dope audio method. Yeah, so let me finish.
Is that Frankie Z?
Frankie
Yes.
Z.
Frankie Z.
Damn.
Okay,
Yeah.
his name's coming up
How
again.
you know Frankie Z? Oh, you just heard his name?
Well, no.
Okay.
I met my husband's from Oceanside.
Okay.
And so I
Okay.
met him. He teaches. I don't know if he still does. Well, does he teach over at
Oceanside.
Oceanside? And I worked
soccer
at a
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he teaches still. I'm not sure, but I know he's still he's the soccer dude for Oceanside. He's
Right.
the man, the soccer man.
And I have to ask you,
Yeah.
Tease, we got some cardboard. We're going to lay it on this floor right here. We're going to make sure.
You're gonna be, hey, look, thank the Lord you got cardboard because you're gonna be dragging my monkey ass out. Right, that's perfect.
No, I know you got the skills.
No, that's
still.
perfect.
I
You
believe in
just
you.
drag me. That's easy. The homies ain't even got to carry me. Just drag me.
Right.
Yeah, run
Just
it
one
up.
move. All I want you to do is one move.
I'm good.
No, but really, also, not just Rapper's Delight. I know when I got into hip hop and thinking it was amazing, I was doing summer track and we kept playing Curtis Blow's These Are the Breaks, which came around that time too, So thank you. So you got in just very similar to Revelation's story about, you got hit with the song, sat on your heart. You were dancing, and then how did you get into I.B.S, which is Innocent Bystanders?
So I just basically ran with them. The Slim is Slim is from my neighborhood, my little cousin.
Mm-hmm. What neighborhood is that in Oceanside too?
Yes, South Oceanside. And Will, me and him, it go way back from kids not being very good kids. So we weren't very.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just didn't go to the penitentiary.
Well, not with him. I went. What I went to wasn't long enough to be considered that, but.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Well, it was enough time. It was time is time. But so we would all be together. All of us kind of hung around each other, and Joel used to come around the neighborhood a bit. Because we had a park called Buccaneer, and I believe that's where you and Slim hooked up, right? You came hang out at the park one day and you met Slim.
Yeah, because I went over there to see who was that.
Yeah, so the homie Ghost was telling me about Slim, and he was like, "You gotta meet."
Oh, that's why you came down there.
So Ghost got locked up,
right?
And so I was going down to Buccaneer, and I heard music. I was like, "What they doing down here?" And then I heard somebody rapping, and I was like, "Oh, he tight." I was like, "Let me see who that is," right? Because I was like, "Now let me get on the mic too," and then that's when I met him, and it was a rap after that. Like I was like, "Okay, you the one that the homie Ghost told me about. Let's do it."
Yeah, so that's how we started hanging. At that point, I wasn't really rapping. I wasn't in a group at that time. Yeah. I was doing other things, but I would be with these guys all the time. And so since I had that, that talent, they would have me. I was like a goofball, so I would do like little skits with them, and sometimes a couple hard songs. So I would, and that's how I got involved with it.
Were you considered like the hype man of the group?
No, not a hype man.
Featured artist.
Featured artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, we interviewed Ghost named Andre. So for those that had are following this series, they're talking about Ghost Andre, who had been interviewed at another Music for Life podcast. Slim,
yes, ma'am.
Down there.
Yes,
same
ma'am.
question to you. Here we are in the 80s.
Well, mine was The Message. When the song The Message came out, because I was living in the projects at that time.
And where were you living? Because are you in Oceanside too?
I was living in Pittsburgh.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I was living in the projects and just hearing that echo. And then I was on punishment a lot, so I used to just be in the room and just trying to be creative. When you don't have anything else to do, you find creativity in something.
Right.
That's right.
Whether it's art, music, or whatever. So that's where my journey started. And then I ended up moving to Oceanside, moving in with him, and then that's what happened. Then I went to the park one day, but you told the story wrong. I went over there to see who was actually at the park.
I went to see who was at the park.
I was like, who was that over there making all that noise? Dokie, let's go see.
You just said you went down there because Andre told you that he was down there.
No, that was before. You remember somebody had a party over there.
Right.
And me and Lil T's went over there like, who is that? But we didn't know that you knew.
Okay, yeah.
But look,
yeah.
we didn't know you knew like
Right.
T's and them. So we just went over there
Why?
to be
What,
like,
y'all was going to do something?
we were just going to go check him out.
Y'all going to do something?
No.
Right.
No, we were just like,
okay.
who is that over there? So we went over there just to, and then
Right.
we started rapping.
They
and
went
all
to go
that.
say hi.
And it's a funny story. Like he said,
You guys went to go say hi.
yeah, we went to go say hi. But like he said, Andre, which is Ghost, he had showed me this flyer, and it was To the Curb Records. You know what I mean? So then you showed me the same flyer, and I'm like, hold up, somebody else showed me that. And that's
Right.
when you informed me that Ghost
Yeah.
was your partner. And then I started going to Los Angeles with these guys to meet No Sense, which is Dada. He's like one of Snoop's personal videographers right now. So, yeah, that's how the I.B.S. happened for me. Yeah.
So Slim, right there, when you think about this period of time, beginning, middle, end, or whatever, not no end, because it's still here.
Yeah.
It's just shifted and changed.
Right.
What sticks out to you the most, or how would I say this? What would you like, one of the things that you'd like people to really know about this particular time? That
time, it was a lot of chaos in Oceanside. It was just busy. Busy. The streets was busy. Everything was busy. And for him to swoop me up and give me solace and take me to Los Angeles, because I never been to Los Angeles until I went with these guys. And they just showed me like a different lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it was just one that I was comfortable with. You know what I mean? Because, man, yeah. But
Right.
like he said, he taught me how to format the lyrics and all of that. And then, hey, I was on board after that. Just being around different entertainers and, you know what I mean?
It was an exciting time, would you say?
Yeah, because they showed me how to act around stars and, like if you see stars or, you know what I mean? So they just taught me that aspect of just being around people in the industry.
How much younger are you to the group? They say
I'm young. Nah.
He's only like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
4 years.
Well, these guys are always older than me, so I was always the youngster out the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I was the baby of the bunch.
Uh-huh.
So
All right.
yeah.
How about you, Tease? What would you? One of the things when you think back on this time, getting started and all that, what kind of sticks out to you, or what you would say you would like to illuminate?
What stuck out in the beginning?
Yeah, or at any point about this the hip hop in the 80s and 90s. What would you say that I think people should know this, or
Right.
Well, in the 80s and 90s, it was taking a turn for, like when we got involved, it was taking a turn from, it was right on the turn of going from being positive to
Gangster rap and all
yeah,
that.
I'll take your head off. They inched slowly and slowly and slowly. And me and Will was in that transition. He came from, Will used to be more like a battle rapper,
Right.
And that's when it was kind of turning. So what stuck out was we were in that season where it was positive. We were caught in that transition from positive to negative.
Right.
So I guess you could say we the ones that started this stuff.
Yeah.
Not we the ones that started, but that was that era.
Yeah.
So and then trying to get in back then was, we were young, and back then if you were trying to get out there, you had to be like a real person. So when you whatever you were rapping about, like they have in controversy these days, you had to be basically doing.
Right.
I follow.
Yeah.
So you'd have to, when you're rapping, that you somehow are an example of that lifestyle that you're in your rap. Is that? I'm trying to track you.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you're speaking about something that you're doing, you had better been doing that.
Right.
It reminds me of a friend of mine when he was talking about his brother. He said he was getting ready to go on the road and find out where all the bodies are. That his brother was a rapper. He didn't do any of that, by the way. But he felt affected by the culture that he had to. That he felt like he had to say some things, and his brother was like, "What are you talking about? You're not doing that."
Right.
So, but it speaks to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But there were some people that were authentic or were aligned with both rapping, some as well as actually doing it. Is that what you're getting? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, so that's what stood out for me. It was a unique experience from going from positive to more of a negative. Yeah, that's what stuck out to me because it got kind of intense back in those days. But that's what stuck out to me. Okay,
thank you for sharing. Okay, Revelation. What sticks? What other thing? Because you kind of started this all with that. You were the English and math teacher apparently. Right. But what else for you? Right.
I think the progression of rap stands out to me the most. Like we were talking off camera before, like it's in everything now. Like you can be watching NFL football and the beats that come on is rap beats, hip hop, right?
And then Taylor Swift comes out, rapping.
Right,
yeah.
It's
way different.
Diaper commercials.
I'm kidding. Okay, go ahead.
Right, diaper commercials got it.
That's how they stole the culture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so we like when I met Will, we were in high school, and I was like, who this dude with the Kango on? Right? So he was walking around with a Kango and like terrorizing MCs at the school. You know what I'm saying?
Will is not
you know what I'm saying? Yes, that guy right there. And so I heard him like kick some rhymes. And I was like, oh yeah, he tight. So I told him that like we was trying to put together a demo tape, me and James Wilson. So that was our DJ, J Play. Well, I think I gave him the name J Play. Yeah, because he just had an ordinary name. You know what I'm saying? He was and he was older than us. He was the only one that had a good job. He was the one that.
Oh, was this the one with the beat machine? Was this the one that Ghost was talking about with the beat machine or something?
Yeah, he had all the equipment.
Okay,
right.
Go ahead, Jay
and Play. So he was like one of the oldest DJs in Oceanside, like one of them. Right. We had what was his name? Vincent King was DJing back then, right?
It wasn't Frankie Z.
Frankie Z was DJing back then, but Vincent King and James was before Frankie Z.
Okay.
Right, so that's some OCEANSIDE history that them youngsters don't know about, right?
Right.
And so they had all of the clout, and they was the DJs everybody wanted to be with, and so I was DJing at first. Right. And so I was an aspiring DJ, and I met James, and he was a DJ, and I was like, in order to make some money now, we need to, like, somebody got to rap. And so I liked, putting poetry together and all that kind of stuff. So I started doing, when I met him, I was like, now this is a real MC.
Will Ski.
Yeah, Will Ski,
yes.
right? Yeah. And so we just started hanging out, much like me and Slim did. Mm-hmm. I would just pick him up, and that's when Oceanside was going through the transition he was talking about, where gangster rap started impacting culture, and Oceanside at that somewhere around the early 90s was the murder cap. Well, it was like per capita had the most murders in the United States. Oceanside.
Yeah.
I thought it was Detroit at the time.
No, they have their different slots, but he's saying at that time.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, at that time. Because it was wild, right? And so So trying to like stay out of trouble and you know what I'm saying,
alive.
to stay alive and right, because it was going down. So we was up in LA with Trick, right? Magic Trick, and met him at a club.
In L.A.
No, we met him at a club out in Oceanside or Vista, right? And so I went to a club and Magic was DJing and we was trying to figure out how we can get 1200s, which is the 1200 techniques, which was one all the DJs was using at the time.
Can you explain what you're saying? Because some people may not understand 1200.
Right. So you had like record players, right? But most record players weren't built for DJing. They was just built for playing records, right? So if you tried to scratch and do the hip hop sounds that you was hearing, the needle gonna skip, it's gonna cross the record, all that kind of stuff was happening. And so you was trying to find out how can I like do the thing, right? So then they had other like techniques, that was the brand, that it wouldn't really skip or wobble, but it wouldn't snap back. So you bring the record back and then it would take off real slow. So the ones that you wanted was the 1200s, right?
And who had those?
So Magic had those, and I made a deal with him on like, I'll buy some from you and make payments. And he was like, cool. He was kind of interested in helping the little homies like, you know, make their dreams come true, right? So I had 1200s at the house. So that wasn't a good thing because Ghost dropped out of school behind that. his bus passed by my house in the morning. And he could never pass by my house. So he would always ring the bell and get off. And we would spend all day listening to K-Day, right, which LA radio station, and listening to the Mix Masters, Tony G, M-Walk, like all the Cooley, Joe Cooley. All of the Mix Masters. And so we was DJing a lot. And then started working on more of the lyrics and the songs when Will came.
And about how old were you?
So this was 87, so probably like 18, something like that, right? So now Trick sees the talent that we got, and he's like, let me help you guys do something, because he was going back and forth and messing with Tony G, who was in the hip hop scene because he was a mix master and was doing all the house parties and the big events, and messing with like I think Layla, right? And Lonzo and them from the World Class Wrecking Crew. Mm-hmm. So that's what Dr. Dre, the group he was in, when he had the picture, when he had the lipstick on and he had the the glove and all that kind of stuff, right? He was lipstick. Yeah. He was in that group. And so Trick started introducing us to people. And I think one of the significant things to me at that time was, one, I got a chance to see Dr. Ice from UTFO, who had the hit song Roxanne. So I don't know if you in the hip hop, like the whole Roxanne saga, right?
The
real Roxanne, Shantae, right?
Did you see that movie by the chance? You saw it?
Roxanne about Shantae?
Yeah. There's a movie out there. Uh-huh.
And so we was we was at Layla. That's the name I remember.
Yeah, Layla. From Above the Law. Yeah.
From the World Class Wrecking Crew. Lonzo. I don't know why I call him Layla.
Yeah, that's from Above the Law. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he was involved in it somehow, but Lonzo was the one that owned the club that NWA used to go to when Cube and Easy and all them started.
So it sounds to me, so when it came to the point, you know, y'all are creative, y'all are doing this, you know, forming the, and it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had support of some older folks. Older
Yeah.
folks, mind you, 5 years, maybe even 3 years. They're not like you're a teenager. They're not 30. They're still pretty
Yeah.
young too. That helped you and encouraged you and supported you. That's how you all were able to escalate?
Yeah,
a little bit.
They helped us. They taught us the game. You know what I'm saying? We learned a lot about like what it took to make money. And unfortunately, like a lot of people that was just doing it from the heart didn't do the business part.
Say that.
And I think to this day, like that's why I'm grateful for the homie Slim, because he like dig in there and even to keep us up to speed with what's going on and the legal stuff. But so we was around a lot of older cats, and that's when I got a chance to meet Curtis Blow. Was you there when we went to Curtis Blow? So we went to Curtis Blow's house. So when you so when you say what stood out, I grew up listening to These Are the Breaks. Now I'm in the backyard with the dude. You know what I'm saying?
How impactful was that?
Man, it was like I made it. You know what I mean? I was like, I made it.
Where were you? Where
here.
was this
To the
though?
backyard.
Give me a little paint the picture. Where were you?
I was young.
So this was in L.A.
Okay.
somewhere. I don't know where I was because I was from Oceanside and the homies was driving and everything. But we was somewhere in L.A.
I think it was Hollywood. I think he stayed like in Hollywood.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it because the house was huge. It was a big old house. Just, and I was like, this is what rap can do for you. And we went out and was shooting basketball together.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so that was one, seeing Dr. Ice on the mic and just the professionalism that he had and how he like pronounced his rhymes and did everything. And just, I was learning. And then Trick introduced us to Ice-T and had Ice-T come out to some events that we threw in Oceanside. So we started to rent out the distillery, which is was a young teenage club in Escondido. And so this was right about the time when More Bounce to the 40 Ounce came out.
And who's that? What's that song? Who did that song?
So that was me and Will when we was B-Boy Rage, right?
Okay.
And so it had the James Brown hook in I Feel Good. Right?
Sample
so when
by
it broke
DJ
down,
Quick.
it went bump, 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 bump. So we flipped that with Lonzo. And unfortunately, the mix down was not up to par, but it still hit though. And so I remember going into After Dark, which was a rival club of distillery, and I walked into After Dark, and the DJ seen me. I didn't even know who the DJ was. He seen me and put on the song, and he goes, "That's the artist right there." And about 5 girls ran up.
That's all it took.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 girls ran up, like touching on me, like, oh. And I was like,
"Hey, ladies."
I was like, what?
I'm going up tonight.
Like, this is it right here.
Did you give the DJ some money for that? I mean, where did you say nothing?
we I don't even know. We ended up leaving. I was so like lost, you know.
That must have caught you off guard a
it
little
caught
bit.
me way off guard. But that wasn't the first time that kind of stuff, or I mean, that wasn't the last time that happened.
Yeah. But it's something that one of the first
that
times
stuck
that
out,
and your music impacted.
that my music impacted people like that. And then I went to a graduation at El Camino, and the band was playing it. I was like, no, they not. And they had they was hitting it, and the dude was like, this is y'all song. I was like, that is our song. And so I had cousins in Georgia call me like I heard your song. And so that kind of stuff made like a lasting impact, gave me the hunger to just keep going. Yeah.
And you, Slim, you mentioned down there, I want to make sure that it gets caught on the mic, that you said the more bounce to the 40-ounce DJ Quick sample. How did that go?
Yeah. What did he say? That one guy that said that bull got pulled.
Yeah.
He did that, and then he sampled Down It.
Yeah.
On Quick as the Name album.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
So
scratched
just
our
finding that
intro.
out that was the homies, because that was before my time. Just finding that out, I was like, oh man,
I never knew that.
yeah, that was crazy. Yep.
Yeah. So we was at Distillery now having hip hop like nights, right? Where James J Play was a DJ, and we through Trick we was having hip hop artists come. So we had Ice-T, King T, Young MC when Busta Move came out. We had Bud from Love and Marriage, that show.
Did y'all have Prince?
Candyman.
We had Whip, Candyman. Like we had a lot of LA scene MCs come out and brought that to Oceanside.
And that was that was at the
Distillery.
Distillery.
Yeah.
And what was the other club you mentioned?
After Dark.
After Dark.
Yeah.
And you said they were competing clubs. Why? Because they were on the same nights or something? Why were
They were
competing?
both same demographics of
okay.
crowd.
All right.
And
general area.
yeah,
Oh,
same
okay.
general area.
All right.
And then we brought it to Oceanside at I don't it's a gambling casino now. I don't know
You
what it was
spoke-
then.
I think Ghost spoke of that.
By
Right off the 5,
yeah.
near Oceanside
Yeah.
High
The Bazaar
School.
was.
yeah.
On the bowling
Which
alley.
club?
Mission Bowl.
Mission Bowl.
Yeah,
It was Mission Bowl. And we rented that out and had Ice-T there. And so just like and different hip hop contests and whatnot, and just had the scene we created, you know what I mean, the scene
From
and the culture.
scratch is what I'm saying, literally and
Yeah.
figuratively with the scratching.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, you know,
That's pretty good.
yeah, because that was it. You
Yeah.
all didn't have. Thank goodness you had some older people that had some equipment and whatnot. But
Right.
I mean, being the age you all are, y'all can't afford equipment like that. You can't afford studio time, so you had to find ways to do that. So how did you? Yeah,
I want something. I just want to make sure people understand about us at that time with hip hop. We wasn't just doing it because we was seeing. We was the types that was. We go to his house and listen to these tapes that some of our partners, Ja Love and Desh, would bring back. They was from New York, so they would bring back Red Alert tapes and Magic, DJ Magic tapes, and we hearing hip hop that other people ain't really hearing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we really was like
EPMT,
analyzing and
yeah.
paying attention to hip hop, the music aspect at that time. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And I remember, I'm talking about countless hours just being in the house, rewind that, and you know what I'm saying, and play this and listen to this, and who is this? Researching and finding out who's who, and just finding out about different artists that some people still ain't even heard of.
and I think you make a good point because remember we have social media now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
then-
If we had social media back
We did
then.
not. And we were joking earlier before we started the interview. How we, as a person that I did not rap, I just appreciate. I was just one of those girls that would be out there just loving the music. You come back to your car, that was a social media to have the 55 flyers. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
Your cars used to be covered with flyers and promotion
right.
because you didn't have that,
Yeah.
unless you had to connect with a radio station and such. And what I
Right.
appreciate about what you're saying, Will, I know that all of us have family, East Coast, West Coast, down South. My cousin used to visit me from New York, and she would tell me about this rap or this song, and I in the Midwest, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then 3 months later, I would get it.
Yeah.
So you make a good
And
point.
that's the good one. I never looked at it like that, but that's true. We were basically getting it hot off the press from these guys because they were keeping active with the East Coast real good, and at that time that was the East Coast West Coast, and so that was transitioning at the same time too. So we were like getting, that's true, we were getting like hot music that people weren't going to hear for at least another year
Yeah.
to study.
Yeah.
So that was our social media.
And it's usually, it was like it was our family members or close friends who were living in these areas,
the
or living in
areas.
Atlanta
Yeah.
or, New York
Yeah.
or whatever, that would bring it.
Yeah.
And I know when my cousin, her name is Elijah, would come in like, what this, y'all just, you don't know this one, or
But
you
that's
don't know
our
that.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our
Say it.
culture. Even like our parents, 60s, or we get all that music from them. We get the
Right.
rhythm from moms and
All the
aunties dance in
samples
the
that
living
we
room. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's our culture. Because you remember, there wasn't even no black shows on MTV.
Right.
That's
yeah.
right.
I think Michael Jackson was the first one who really opened it up. Now everybody is in the culture.
Yo MTV Raps, that was one of the
yeah.
first ones
So
there.
us
but,
looking
yeah.
at that, like, hold on, we couldn't even get on there. Now it's like, basically, we getting flooded out of our culture just a little bit.
And thank you, Slim, because there was y'all help me with this. It wasn't MTV. Being in Ann Arbor, white liberal town, we
Yeah.
couldn't, so we got the Detroit stations, but wasn't there this thing called Party Box? It's like I went to, was Cleveland or something like that, and they had their own, it was like an can you help me out?
It was like a local, like, MTV, basically.
It was called something, and it was playing in major chocolate cities, like. But
was it Rock Box?
Something like, I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Something like
was
that.
it?
Video music box.
Video
Music
box.
Box, yeah.
Now, did y'all get that in Oceanside?
I don't remember that. Did we?
I don't remember that.
Oceanside just got BET in like the mid 90s.
Right.
I'm like, y'all ain't got BET out here?
Right.
Because I moved from Pittsburgh.
We was
It was
hurting.
late 80s. It was
I
like
don't know.
89.
Look, we was hurting for
buddy.
music. We was hurting
remember.
for the hip hop.
I remember.
And LA, K-Day was one of the only stations that we
real.
could get back then, and you had to have the antenna just right, and it would be still staticky, and trying to listen to like the new songs that was coming out and all of that. But
They don't know about antennas
right,
nowadays,
they don't
but
know
okay,
nothing
go ahead.
about that, right? But I wish we had like the social media coverage back then, because it's a lot of footage that we don't have of being with Eazy-E, being in the studio with Eazy-E, rapping on 92.3 The Beat, being with all those people who went
Torn
on
with Eazy-E.
right? Yeah,
He put us in the rap pages, the Source magazine.
yeah.
You know,
And
so,
that was
yeah.
and that was like it. And Revelation, I think,
That was
also,
big.
if I may say,
Yeah.
it was huge. And what I can also say is, y'all were doing it for the love. Y'all were
Yeah.
really doing it because you
Yeah.
were committed and you wanted to produce this music. You were affected. You were like artists, true.
Culturally
Nowadays,
affected
I'm
by
not,
the music.
no disrespect to anyone. It's a little different. It becomes a little bit about how
Right.
you're seen rapping,
Yeah,
how you
your brand,
seen
and
doing it.
image,
Whereas
and,
it
yeah.
wasn't the artistry. It's
The
not the
whole
artistry
art.
first,
Right.
You know, it was
Yeah.
real authentic because you all were doing it from ground zero,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Ground
and
zero.
yeah, and well, you also made a comment when Ghost was here about how, just piggyback on the culture and who you saw eventually. You were talking about you saw Queen Latifah before she
Oh, yeah.
really hit. It's
That was at the Total Experience in L.A. Mm-hmm. It was actually Trick's show, but we was there in support on the stage, you know what I mean? But yeah, I met two people that day, but I didn't, like Queen Latifah, like I said, she had that song Wrath of My Madness. And to me, that was just, I was
Yeah,
like,
that was hard.
oh, that was dope. Like the sample and,
Right.
and her flow was different. You know what I mean? This is 87.
Yeah.
87, 88. And yeah, I just remember seeing her regular T-shirt. I was like, oh yeah, she, you know, back then she wasn't a star yet, but I recognized her as a dope MC. You know what I mean? And somebody else was there. Sir Jinx was there. And this is one of my biggest what ifs, because we met going through the bathroom. And he was like, hey, y'all got the song. He knew our song, basically, right? And he was like, hey, I do beats for so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if y'all woo-woo-woo. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but we do our own beats. You know what I'm saying? And push. But this is before, what was that? America's Most hit.
Right. Yeah.
America's Most
Sir
Hit.
Jinx.
America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube first
Ice
album.
Cubes.
Yeah. And it wasn't that
Right.
we was just like on some, but at that time it was really about being self-sufficient and doing your own thing.
Right.
And we hadn't had our chance to show who we was yet.
Right.
More Bounce to the 40 Ounce was not who we were as a music group. You know what I mean? It was a
Right.
song that Lonzo wanted us to do to get radio play.
Why was you thinking he was trying to kidnap y'all, or you think he
Who?
was just, when he offered that?
No, it was just me and my bravado back then was like, oh yeah, we cool.
Oh, okay, yeah,
you know
okay,
what I'm
I can see
saying?
that.
Not being
No,
an
we
asshole,
did.
but just like, yeah.
I don't need you right now.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know you like
collaborations
that.
wasn't that
That could have been
frequent.
No, because they
Absolutely.
did try to do that.
Yeah, they'll work
They
you.
had me sign
Yeah,
some
they'll
weird
twist
stuff
you.
as a kid too, but yeah.
And I think that's fair. Can we stay on that though?
What's
You
that?
all not knowing the business,
business side,
again,
yeah.
and
Right.
you're touching on it right now. They had you sign some.
Well, no,
Go ahead.
just I know Will. I grew up with him, so I knew it was either one or the two. Either he took it as like, "Oh, I got this." Well, no, we good. We don't. Because that was kind of the thing back then. Like, what, we don't really need you. We got it. Or that's what I was asking. Was he trying to kidnap you guys, or was he basically like, "Hey, look, I heard that song. You know what I'm saying? You want? I can take care of y'all. I got your beats."
Yeah.
But that probably was a good move on you, though.
Plus back then though, like collaborations wasn't a
The
thing.
thing.
It was like in sports you went to one team and stayed there, right? At jobs you went to one job and stayed there. In rap you had your crew and that was your crew. And it didn't evolve a little bit until later where, you doing songs with all kinds of different people and producers and all of that.
Yeah, but what I was saying about the signing the paper thing, well, I've had where someone would say, and when we were kids running wild, that I'll give you a couple $100 if you sign this, just saying that you won't write for nobody else for at least a year. Yeah. And I'm 18, 16, 17, you want to give me $300.
Dang.
Yeah.
Who hit you like that?
I can't say that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll go to-
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
left out some discretion.
Even
too.
with the I.B.S. album,
Right.
Navarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you're good, because you probably got that $300 in cash right there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it's right here.
But if you don't know the business side, it happens to all the artists, especially our
does.
people, even way back when,
Yeah.
if you don't know
Right.
the business side of the show business, you just doing the show, then
And let's be real. People like Jackie Wilson died penniless because he didn't have the rights to his name.
Yeah.
That's how. And
Right.
people
but
didn't
there's
understand.
a lot of artists like that.
Yeah, and they didn't understand. They thought Prince, remember when he put that symbol and was
Yep.
going around? They didn't understand how Prince was thinking. He's like, okay, Warner Brothers, you're going to have my name.
Take it.
I'm going to be a symbol until this contract is up. So this is the thing, is that your own name, and it's not just Jackie Wilson. There's countless.
Anita Baker, she had problems with her.
Michael Jackson.
Name,
Yeah.
your own name.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that, because that's really important. That how they would take your creativity and your artistry and give you pennies for it.
But I give it up to the youngsters nowadays. They know how to register their songs. They know how to put themselves on streaming. Like, they learned from the mistakes of the older generation. So sometimes you got to give it up for the people who took them bullets in the record industry, so you could be
Right.
able to,
Right.
register your songs, own your publishing, own your masters,
Your merchandise.
That's
yeah,
right.
So everything.
that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know Chris Swan, who's the producer of the Music for Life podcast and his show.
Chris
he's
Swan.
a big advocate, and anytime an artist comes in here, he's always saying, "This is what you do, and this is how you do it," to make sure people understand how do you control your stuff. How do you make sure that you get those that benefit from using all of that.
YouTube University.
So moving, we're kind of coming to the end here.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
guess we've been talking a little bit, so I'm gonna start with you down there, Slim. Where are you now? And looking back again, some parting words about the future, the past?
Well, right now we're still doing music here and there. I work just like everybody else, and I do freelance jewelry design on the side. CAD design. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now.
CAD design.
Yeah,
Big shout out to CAD. Spell that for us.
CAD. It's just computer automatic drafting, but jewelry specific to where I can make whatever you want.
What's the name of your company?
Darwin Company.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you can find me on Instagram at the Lefty Slim. You know, and I just do custom work. So yeah,
That's awesome.
All in house.
All right. And any kind of about this the past, any other kinds of things that you want to say, I really want people to know this about that 80s, early 90s scene. They really need to know this. Anything like that?
Well, just stay focused to the younger generation because you can lose it in an instant. I did over 11 years. The homie did some time, damn near 30. One false move will cost you. And then, all your best years will be gone from you. So my advice to the youngsters is just take your time, breathe, get your little female or something, tuck away, go to the movies and chill out. That's it. Stay positive.
Yeah. Revelation, you're just going to have to deal with it. They going to come on you like that now that that's not on there. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Tease, how about you, sir?
Nowadays, I'm just doing a little bit of construction. I enjoy working still, about to wrap that up. But other than that, yeah, just working and staying, like he says, staying positive.
And about that time, any kind of parting words of like, something that you really like, this stand out, or some advice or about that period of time?
He got the first rap video, don't you?
No, I doubt that.
Hold up.
What? You don't? Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to. Bro. You remember the video?
Who was before
I
you?
forgot all about that.
I had the video and I gave it to somebody that went
What?
to the military and
probably-
kept
At
it.
Frank House.
Yeah, so Frank.
It was like y'all
shout out
filmed
to
it?
Frank Zimmerman.
Frankie
for
Z,
making
what's
it
up?
happen.
So what is this? Tell me the story. What
He had the
happened?
first rap
Forgot all
video
about that, bro.
in Oceanside.
The first rap video?
I'm not sure if that's the kid. I don't
Who
know.
else?
But it.
What, Kid Flash was before you?
That was all around the same
Possibly.
time.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay,
But
Kid
yeah.
Flash was then.
His
Yeah.
Kid Flash is famous. You can go watch him on some.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Sean
He's-
Collins.
he's-
He's Sean.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he
shit
was.
whack to me, man.
He's
Man, we
really,
heard it
like,
on-
kind of famous.
We didn't say who had the first
He was,
fresh
I didn't pay no
video.
attention to him neither, but he knows how to work the industry.
Yeah.
So he's Sean Collinson now, I think, but
The judge.
yeah, he's Sean Collinson
He's a judge now.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
You seen it too pop up?
Well, the funny thing is that my husband and him, when they started out, they were in a rap group together. Yeah.
But Sean made it. Sean had made it. He was
Yeah, that
chilling
song
with
was popular.
Well, you
Was
had
it
the second video.
Diana Ross and all that. He was kind of.
So where was this video aired? Where you said the first?
It wasn't really aired. It was like underground. This back in them days, that was just something to have, and you would be
Yeah.
lucky if you had that.
Had a
So it was on a video somewhere, VHS. Where
Yeah,
was
I
it?
think they did
Yeah,
film it on
VHS.
VHS.
And then they obviously wherever it's a
I'm
promotional.
not sure what it
I had
was.
the last surviving
I think
copy.
that was the one and only, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I got it from Frank Zimmerman. I don't know if it was a copy or whatever, but we were going to use it for some promotion of an album. That's why the video was
The
made.
damn posse.
That's great. It was. You saw the video, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that about? Was
You
it
said,
good?
did I see the video? Yeah, I seen it.
I had the last copy.
The last
And
copy.
I dropped the ball.
But what was the question? What would I remember about?
No, well,
about
that's
that?
significant.
Yeah,
you were
it
in
is.
this. You not under your reputation is preceding you. Everyone has you that this is the first in this area. This video,
Yeah.
and it was promoted. How did y'all see it then?
I think I stole it from the studio, and
And
one
I
of
think
them
I stole it from him,
me.
and somebody stole it from me.
but it aired somewhere.
No,
I
well,
saw it in front.
Yeah, it was amongst us. It hadn't been
Right.
sent to where it had to go yet.
So but again, with all of that, being able to get the video. See, this is what people don't understand.
It was a nice edited video too.
Yeah,
How do
it
you
was
edit?
professional.
Yeah.
You know, where the video? Who had the equipment? How did you get the producing of all that?
Right.
How did you get everybody there? You know, that kind of thing is that what people don't understand. The business that you're speaking of, Slim, the producing of it, you know, is significant. So
Yeah, it is, and that's what Joey was talking about in them days. You had to get under somebody's wing and be liked to be put in those situations.
Right.
For him to go to LA and for them to I didn't know. I was too focused on these guys outside of who they were with. So I didn't even know that they were. I think it ran through my ear a couple times that they were dealing with Magic and Trick and being up in there in LA. Most of the time when me and him went to LA, it wasn't to do no music. But anyway, so yeah, you had to be at that time. You had to be liked by somebody to be put in that type of situation.
Because equipment cost back in them days.
Yeah.
You know, it was like nowadays you can get equipment, you know, $300-$400
software
you know
now,
what I mean?
like-
yeah.
So these guys started doing it real. These guys started doing it real, like on a professional level. I think Frank was doing it, but then he kind of went down and they went up. So that's what stuck out.
Well, thank you. So, what are you doing these days? Revelation, and again, same kind of question.
Right. Now I'm working on like some digital products to help people find their purpose and their calling in life.
Okay.
In the journey, I had just an experience with God that just changed me in an instant, and went from running the streets, drinking 40-ounce beer, you know what I'm saying, and went from them calling me 40 man because I drank so much, to just, you know what I'm saying, just not in the streets at all, and in church, and then I ended up becoming a pastor in the church for 14 years, and just seeing what like society and culture needed, and was like, we got to do something outside of the church. And the church is always trying to get people to come to church, and Jesus said, go into the world. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing some different things and be innovative and creative like we've always done.
Yeah.
And so just on the same kind of page that Chris is on, and getting on social media and all that. You can go to I'mCallingJoel.com. And if you want to follow me on social media, it's all like YouTube /I'mCallingJoel, Facebook /I'mCallingJoel. So you can check me out on social media. And the first course that I'm going to drop by just me is coming out pretty soon.
The first
Online course.
Okay.
To just lock in on purpose and your calling and your destiny.
That's wonderful. So you don't have it's social media, not a website yet, just the...
I do.
Okay.
I'm calling Joel.com.
That you said, all of that, across the board.
But it's all social media, it's all the same. So
That's our balance right there.
yeah.
You know, keep us balanced.
And so speaking of that, like, and so what Terry was like, well, we was just kind of hanging out, like we all feel like brothers. You know what I mean?
see that.
And so it don't matter, like if I don't see him for 2 months or 3 months, that's why on the side I said, I'm gonna catch you around the corner, homie. And he was like, well, for it. I was like, because I ain't seen him in a little bit. We've been working, doing the adult thing. And so, but it's always been love, and we always just hop in right where we left off last.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think the last thing I would say for like the past is I wish that we would have valued more what we were doing at the time, to see down the line that we would want the footage of it, that we would want like the records that I think I still got more bounce to the 40 ounce, the record, you know what I mean? But just keeping a good archive of your stuff. And it gets difficult when you move from place to place.
I got a lot of it.
Right, yeah, he did a good job of it, right?
The I.B.S. historian over there, huh,
Right.
Slim?
I got the card Eazy-E gave me. I got the hotel room list when he flew us to Cleveland. Yeah.
Right, just
I
all
got
that
the Source
kind of
magazine.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and then in your defense, it's like, here you are, 15, 19,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know,
right.
a lot of that, you don't have 30 years, you know,
Right.
and then you
Yeah.
all were, you know, entrepreneurs and groundbreakers. You had no idea
Right.
that here we are in 2025. It is that culture.
Yeah.
Right. We
Is-
we didn't know
It's
then,
our culture.
like, I'm gonna be in a movie with Snoop. You know what I mean? And Tyrone Turner, doing a scene with Tyrone Turner, who was in Minister Society, him and Lorenzo Tate, right?
Kane.
And like, I didn't know then, and so just keeping the catalogs of the journey,
Yeah.
right? And then so the last thing would be to maximize the moment, because time happens like that, right? And so my son, he was in a dance group. They was on America's Best Dance Crew. I forgot what season it was, but they came in like 4th. And I remember talking to him like, listen, you guys need to like really press, and because before you know it, you're going to have kids, you're going to be now having to work. And so I see them now and they be like, man, Pops, I wish we would have listened to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of how fast time flies. And so that would be like my thoughts going out of here for people that's like on the journey. Maximize the moment and value what you're doing.
Well, speaking of time, it looks like we're just about out of it. So I certainly want to thank the group I.B.S. I want to thank our producers here, Imagine Podcasting. I want to thank Chris Swan, Will Harrison, a.k.a. Will Ski.
Yes.
I want to thank Andreas. Go ahead, Will. I know you. Go ahead.
I'm divine rival now. Willski
Stasher winner.
is an ancestor.
Shout out to my wife. What's up, baby?
Okay.
Late.
What we doing? Saying shout out?
Yeah, we out of here, man.
Yeah, we gone.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to my wife over there.
Okay, thank you, Melissa, for
Joe.
being in the corner in here, and thank you for listening. We'll have another special edition of our Music for Life podcast, hip hop culture in the 80s and 90s.
And we appreciate you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you. We out.
We in.
Outstanding.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
What do you mean, Melissa?
She said,
Better play your cards right and bring your strizz out. Step into the microphone trying to rizz out. I know you hate us, wish you could fade us. Steady talking shit, but still playing. I'm banging, brains are hanging, just murder slanging. Lyrics for dollars, making hoes holler like boys the men was singing. We bringing the real. You can't fuck with murder with my hands around.